Planbook.com walkthrough. So when I showed you guys my teacher planner that I made for next year, I talked a little bit about how I use Planbook.com, and I used it a little bit last year. I think I started in January using it, and I kind of fell off the bandwagon for a little while and then got back on it. And I think it's part of me just not knowing the site very well, and I wasn't too confident with it, and I didn't feel the best when it came to me putting in my lesson plans and using it to its maximum potential. So what I'm doing today is I've been playing around a little bit with Planbook.com and just kind of tweaking things and changing things and figuring out what all Planbook has to offer. And I am really excited about some of the things that I have seen and have been using on Planbook.com. So I wanted to share that with you guys for this video. I also mentioned that I use my teacher planner and I use Planbook.com hand in hand. So when I plan out for my week, I plan my week on Planbook.com, and then as my day goes, just to kind of sit down and make a game plan for myself. So at the end of, let's say that it's Monday afternoon and I'm getting ready for Tuesday. So at the end of the day on Monday afternoon, or it could be Tuesday morning, whatever works best for you, I sit down with my Planbook.com on my phone and I just kind of walk through what the lesson was. And I kind of think to myself, what were some things that really worked well for today? What are some things that I need to redo for tomorrow? And I just make myself little notes in my weekly pages for my teacher planner. And that's kind of what I use to go off of, but all of my plans are in Planbook.com, if that makes any sense. So what is Planbook.com? Planbook.com is just a site for teachers to be able to plan out their lessons, have it standard based, and it also keeps track of all of your files, all of your attachments, any kind of websites that you use for your lessons, you can place them on there. It's just a digital lesson plan site, which is really nice because you don't have to keep and maintain all of those papers that you're printing out. So I realized that when I was filming this video, I was going through and editing it, and it's an hour long. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am splitting it into two parts. So I'm uploading this video one day, and then I will upload the second part the day after. So that you guys don't have to sit through a whole hour-long video. And I'm going to try to split it up between kind of your basic introductions of just setting up your classes, setting up your year, tweaking a couple of things on there, setting up templates, and then the next time I'm going to show you the really cool, fun stuff that's in Planbook.com. So I have this coming up in two different parts. Now, I contacted Planbook.com, and they very generously sent out a promotion code for all of you guys. So all of my viewers, you guys have a promotion code, and it's free6, the lettered classroom. And what that's going to give you is 6 months free trial versus the 1 month free trial that they typically offer on their website when you first sign up. So you guys get 6 free months of you using Planbook.com and seeing how you guys like it. So I strongly urge you guys to go ahead and, as I am signing up and filling in everything, go ahead and create yourself a Planbook.com account. And as I'm going through and showing you some of the cool things, you guys can try to do that exact same thing at home so that you can follow along with me in this video. So I am so excited to be offering this out for you guys. Be sure that you use the promotional code and get your 6 free months of Planbook.com. Okay, so this is a really long video already, and I'm going to go ahead and jump on in so you're going to see everything that I'm doing on my computer screen. Okay guys, so when you first go to Planbook.com, this is the page that you are going to see. Up here is where you would log in if you already have your email and password set up with them. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to actually set up a completely different account. So I am going to go to sign up and receive a 1 month free trial. Click on that. And it says, welcome, please enter your email address. So I'm going to use the lettered classroom as my, gmail.com. And I have to make a password. And register. Okay, so now that I have that, it's going to ask you to enter some of your information. So here I'm going to enter Bridget Emmons Spackman, my display name, school district, Awesome Central. This is not the name of my school, but I'm gonna, make up something awesome. Awesome Heights Elementary, and then 2016, no space, 2017. And then you will want to estimate about when is going to be the first day of school. So I already know that students are actually going to begin on this day and teachers begin on this day. So I'm going to put the 22nd of this year, and then I know that we will end school on this day. My class name, I don't really have one, and then promotional code. Now, I mentioned earlier in my introduction here that there is a promotional code that will be out when this video releases. So make sure you enter that promotional code here and then hit continue. Oh, I have to have a class name. I'm just going to put ELA because that is exactly what I'm teaching. Okay, so now you could always go back and tweak these days events for school if you don't know all of them yet. But you have your typical days that you would have off, and you can go through and enter some other days that you would have off as well. So this is where you would enter winter break. So I know for a fact that in December we have winter break from here, and it goes all the way to January the 2nd. So that would be my winter break. Spring break, we don't have spring break, so no school plannings. I'm not going to add any of those right now, but I'll show you how to add those later, and then I will hit apply. So welcome to Planbook.com. Here's the overview. I'm going to exit over the overview so that I can show you guys exactly what I have. So here is kind of where you would start, and it's a blank page at this point, and it's giving you your starting date for the year, which is August the 22nd for me. And now you would have to enter in your classes. The only thing that you see is ELA here, and that's really about it. Up here, just looking at some of the different tools, you have the 2016-2017. The more you keep going with Planbook.com, they save every year for you, which is really nice because if you have your principal who comes back and wants to see lesson plans from a different time frame or a different year, you can view those. If you want to look back at what you did the previous years and just copy and paste some of those lessons, you're able to do that as well. So that's a really nice feature here. You have your today, your calendar, so you can move, and then this will move weeks for you. You will also have teacher's notes, student's notes, and substitute, and then add an event and add an extra lesson. You have your print button here, and then you can view certain items once you start doing your lesson plans. Over here is your go-to menu, and this one's really important because this has all the different features that you can use in Planbook. So the one that we are in right now is plans. This is your plans view. Then you have assessments, assignments, and classes. This is the one I want to show you first because it's the most important one in setting up your classes. Right now, all you see is that I have ELA. So I'm going to edit this because I'm going to put the different times of my class, if that makes sense. I know that for the morning time, students are going to be coming in. So I'm just going to put arrival / morning work. And this is going to be what I have my students doing during that time. Class start and end date, if you wanted to change those, you can just unclick and it allows you to change it. I'm going to leave those for those dates because that's the time from when I am teaching. Actually, no, my first day of school, I'm going to change that to the 24th. And then the last day, because they are not there on that Friday, their last day is on the 1st. I'm going to change that. So there's their first day and their last day. I can change my class color to any of the colors that I want to choose. What I love about this is you already have some color schemes. If you're looking at it horizontally, I typically go with this one here. Actually, I think I went with this one here this year. I'm not really sure. I can't really remember. But this gray color, I use this as my blockout times for when I don't really have classes. It's just kind of my special times, my lunches, my recesses, all that good stuff. So all of those are done in this color. So I can change that there. If you are collaborating with someone, this is where you're going to need this. So I have a team teacher who I collaborate with, and I would like for her to be able to view my lessons or view and edit, replicate lessons, and then it has all of this information in here too. So I am not going to go into much with this. I may go into it a little bit later. I just didn't want to touch that for the time being. Down here is where you would have your class days. So your arrival and morning work, if you are doing it all of the days, that's great. Just leave it as is. If you only do morning work on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can check off the other ones, and this will only appear on those certain days, which is really nice because I know I have an example that I'm going to show you guys in just a minute. So when you start adding your times, you have to have a start time and end time. I know my students start arriving at 8:40 a.m., select time, and there it is. My end time for that is going to be 9:10. Select that time. Now here's the cool part. If you are going to have that exact same time for the entire week, I would just copy it. It comes up down here and up there, but it doesn't really make a difference. And then you hit apply. So there it is. It was giving me a warning of my class times when I was starting them. So there it is. There's my first one. So then I can add another class. So add another class. And I can do announcements here. I'm going to do attendance. So here I'm going to change this to that color. And so from 9:10 a.m. select, and then I can change it to 9:15. I think I'm off on my times, but that's okay because I already have mine actually set up. So, and then hit apply. And there you go. And you keep going until you have your entire class schedule made up. So I'm going to show you my plan book for this year so you can see my class schedule. So here's my plan book, my original one that I have all of my plans inside of. This is what my lesson plans from last year looked like. Okay, so up here I'm going to go to the 2016-2017 school year for me, and this is what my schedule looks like right now. So notice that my school does not start until Wednesday the 24th. These are teacher work days here, so I don't have any schedules here because I don't have students in my class. I have them starting on the 24th. Now, these are the different classes that I've made up. All of these I had to go to classes, and this is where I've created them all. Now, something to note in here is that they don't go in order from times. They are in alphabetical order here, so it looks very different. If you look at these colors, those are not the right order that I had it, but I wanted to make sure that my colors kind of, I don't know, it had a really pretty effect to it. It almost looks like, I don't know, has a pretty effect to it. So either way, my students arrive in at 8:40 to 9. From 9 to 10, I do announcements and attendance. Then we have our morning meeting from 9:10 to 9:30. I have my writing and my reading AM class. So I put those two the same color because that's one class. It's my one big chunk of time. I know I'm doing reading and writing both with them. Same thing for my PM class. We do something called WIN from 12:10 to 12:50. Switch and pack up from 3:20 to 3:30, and then I have my dismissal. So this is my schedule that I've created. And again, you go to classes. This is where you create your schedule. This is where everything gets created at the very, very beginning. So now I want to walk you through kind of creating your lesson plans. So making out your lesson plans, you have arrival morning work. So you could double click on it, and this is where you could write out your lesson plans. You can put a title if you want to put a title, but in this little box here is where you are going to put your lessons. So I could say students will arrive and unpack their bags, place communication folders in their mailbox, and begin reading. I'm not really sure what I have them doing yet, but this is what I have them doing right now. Here you can change the font family. So if you want to have a different type of font, you can definitely do that. You can change your font size, bold, italicize, all of that good stuff can go inside this section. I could also add my standards, which is something that is so nice with Planbook. I can go to add standards. I am no longer in Alabama, so I need to switch to Pennsylvania. So there's Pennsylvania. I'm not in kindergarten. It'll be 4th grade. And then I am reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So these would be my different standards that I would be teaching. Here I could determine which standards I want to use for it. And then I could simply hit apply. So I'm not going to do that because I don't really have anything yet. I would save it. So there are my lessons. So now what I could do is using this little arrow here, this little drop down arrow, click on that drop down arrow. Now I could bump this up. So let's say something happens and I can't end up doing any of that lessons. I can bump it up a day, bump it back, or I can extend it. I know I'm going to be doing this every single morning, so I will go ahead and extend it 3 days, and then I will hit extend. And there it is. It's been extended, and if I go to the next week, oh my goodness, there it is too. Okay, so I extended it over into the next week. So now I'm going to show you something a little bit different. Let's say for arrival and morning work, you come in, you have your students doing the exact same thing, exact same routine every single year. Every single morning they come in and they do the exact same thing over and over again. So that you don't have to go through and keep having to type this all out, you can go to that go-to menu and go down to templates. And what's nice is that you can create a template and have that in there every single time. So arrival and morning work. I know, let's do actually my morning meeting. My morning meeting is going to be very routine, and it's going to have the exact same thing over and over again. So I know that for my morning meeting, I come in and have a very strict routine. If you guys haven't heard about the morning meeting book, I'll leave a link down below to that, but this is exactly the format that I use to create my morning meeting routine. So I know that every morning my students every time we sit down, we're going to begin with a greeting. Now the greetings will vary from day to day, but I know I'm going to have a greeting. I'm going to enter down 2 spaces just to leave a space for that. Then we're going to have sharing. Again, enter down 2 spaces. There's a group activity. And then I have my morning message. And this is our routine every single morning. Now, to make sure that I like to kind of make these bold so that they stand out just a little bit. So I can change that there. I could also change this. Make them all bold. And then I can save it. So this is for my morning meeting. It's going to happen every day. It's a lesson, and it's the start and end dates are done. So there's my template. So this is what my template looks like when I go to my plans. There it is for me already. So now all I have to do is enter in that information for that. For my arrival and morning work, I can do that exact same thing. Go to templates, add template. Let's do arrival and morning work. This is every day. So there we go. Now that's in there. I'm going to go back to plans. So now it is entered in for each week, and all I have to do is just go in and fill in each of those different components. So you'll notice here, there's no school because we have Labor Day, and so it just leaves it nice and blank for you, so you know you have a 4-day week. I have been guilty of when I am lesson planning and I completely forget. This was before I had Planbook.com, but I would completely forget that that was a holiday, and I would plan for that day, and I did all of that work, and I was so frustrated by the end of it. So this is nice that you can go ahead and just put in that chunk of work time, and then you don't have to kind of mess up by doing that and wasting so much of your time planning for a day that you're not even going to be in school for. So something else that I told you guys before was that you can go through and add events. So something that I saw that I absolutely loved, and if I go to and did events, this is where you have your holidays that you would have, your winter breaks, your any kind of just times that you are not going to be in school. There is no school. You have a teacher work day, whatever you want to call it. I love the idea of putting birthdays in here. So if we look, let's go to Braylon's birthday. And we're going to go to planned, and his birthday is in October. So if I go to my October, and I can jump ahead by just clicking on that week. Here you notice that it says Braylon's birthday. So that little box, so that little box is all placed in there. And now as soon as I see that, I know that it's his birthday and I'm not going to forget it because it's already been posted in. So to create that, you go to events, add events, event title, and then I could put in another birthday. Okay, I have Damir's birthday in October. So October, and his birthday is on the 17th. And then apply. So then I have his birthday saved in there. So when I go to that day in my plans, I have that inside of that. I have it. It's already posted there so that I could remember. And there's Damir's birthday. So that's just a little extra note to add in there. So just really quick to recap, we've gone over some of the tools that are up here at the very top. I've showed you how to go through and add your classes and even make some changes. You can change up your colors. This is where you would be able to collaborate and share your plans, and then you can decide when you're going to be teaching some of those different components. I did tell you that I have one where it works out really nice for me. So my win time, here's my win, and this is where we have it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. On Fridays, we do Genius Hour. So instead of that, I just unclicked that Friday button, and I created an entirely new one for Genius Hour, but that's only on Fridays. So if we go to my plans, and we take a look at it, here is win time. There's win, and then over here is Genius Hour. It gets replaced with Genius Hour, which is really nice because it can really customize it and you can change up your plans and determine when you want to have certain things taught. We've also talked about going to your plans and then just double clicking to be able to add your lesson plans. You can add your standards in here. Make sure you always save. I always have a habit of not saving sometimes, so make sure you add that in there. We've also talked about going to your templates and creating templates for things that you know that you're going to have a very strict routine for. So for my morning meeting, I know that these are the different components of it, and I don't have to retype this every single time. I can go ahead and just have that pre-set as a template, and all I have to do is just go in and fill it. We've also talked about adding events. So some of those events, those holidays that you're not going to be in school, maybe adding students' birthdays in here, any type of event that may be important. If you're having an assembly, you can add that in here once you know when it is so that you don't forget, which is a very, very nice feature. Something else that you can do is you can change your display to how you want it to look. So if you go to your go-to menu and you go down to display, this is where you would be able to see different areas. So let's say you want to make it to where all of these have the exact same font. So you can change your fonts here for these different section areas, the colors, the sizes. So maybe I want to have my lessons in all this really pretty pink color. So I'm going to change it to that. You can have your lesson headings if you want to have your class name first, class times first, center. Determine which one you want to have first. Do you want to do class name or class time? You can have it on the center or you can have it on the left. Equal size lessons. Now, if I didn't want to have equal size lessons, then I can just unclick that button and then every lesson will fit to the size of the text that it is on there. You can change your format here and have it displayed with a dot, a dash, or a slash. And then you can have your display days. So you can even show Saturday and Sunday. So this was important because I know some of you talked about how for planners it's really hard for you because you may start schools on Sundays and then end on Thursdays and have Fridays and Saturdays off. This is where you can have all of that changed and have it very custom to you. So I'm going to hit apply for that. And now look at all my pretty font. It's in this very nice pink color. So you can have all of that changed here. So again, your display settings will just make it, change it to the way you want it to look. It's up to you. And I'm going to hit apply again. Change it back to black. I like the plain. So that is a wrap for my introduction into Planbook.com. It's kind of your basics, getting your classes together, getting your year together. I want you guys to keep playing with it a little bit and seeing what else that you can discover on your own. And then I will come back tomorrow with another video about Planbook.com and some of the other really awesome features that they have. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and I will see you guys tomorrow with the second part. Bye! Planner. And I know some of you are already going to say, how can I get my name on it? And I promise you, I am working on a free update